While Brussels burns. Hi, I'm Daniel Tauber. I'm a columnist for the Jerusalem Post, and here's my comment on the bombs in Brussels, Obama's reaction, and the talk of Palestine at AIPAC's Palestine conference. While ISIS attacked Brussels this week, President Obama was in Cuba, where he sparred playfully with Raul Castro at a press conference, and then enjoyed a baseball game. The absurdity of the President of the United States doing the wave with an aging dictator, while the capital of the European Union went into lockdown, proved the lie to Obama's claim that stopping ISIS is not a core interest of the United States. This claim, and Obama's general approach to radical Islam, is directly related to Obama's policy of pressuring Israel to create a Palestinian state, which would be a radical Islamic terror state. But in Washington there was good news at the AIPAC Policy Conference. There, 4 presidential candidates all promised, implicitly or explicitly, to be a better friend to Israel than President Obama has been. But even at the pro-Israel event of the year, in the midst of terror sprees by ISIS and by Palestinians, there was more of this misguided talk of Palestine. At the conference, Vice President Joe Biden condemned Mahmoud Abbas for refusing to denounce terror attacks, but he also lamented the lack of political will on both sides to negotiate a two-state solution. It's not merely that Abbas doesn't denounce attacks. He praises them, his party praises them, Palestinian institutions praise them. Palestinian society embraces, encourages, and celebrates these attacks. It is generations away from having the political will to make peace with Israel. Later on in the conference, Republican frontrunner Donald Trump expressed support for Israel and the will to stand up to Iran. These were welcome sentiments. But Trump also mentioned Palestine 3 times. That's hard to ignore. Mr. Trump, to what country do you refer? It is not merely, as Mr. Cruz said, that Palestine hasn't existed since 1948. There never was a state of Palestine. Never. Historically, Palestine meant the homeland of the Jewish people, not any other national group. There was a mandate for Palestine, which was a mandate to oversee the re-establishment of the Jewish national home in this country. No Arab or other state or national home is mentioned in the mandate for Palestine. Now, there is only one way to take 3 references to a state that doesn't exist as if it does exist, and that is to mean that it should exist. Wasting more American effort and credibility in negotiating the state of Palestine into existence, as Trump previously suggested he would, that would be just as absurd as President Obama doing the wave in Cuba with Raul Castro just after an attack by the non-existential threat of ISIS. We live in the era of the Islamic State, the de facto state of Hamas in Gaza, the de facto Islamic State in Syria, the state within a state of Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Islamic Republic of Iran. Making sure the 21st century is defined by human progress and not by these radical Islamic states, that means defeating them, not pressuring Israel to create another one.